Hey, I have everyone here on the screen. All right, everybody is here together, and I'm so excited to do this particular show today because we get a chance to talk to real Ecamm family about things we all need to hear about, which is the creator ups and downs. Roy, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. So this is gonna be a fun night. I can see it already based on the conversation we've already had. So this is gonna be a blast.
It is going to be outstanding. And then I have Kirk Nugent here with me. Kirk,
Come
this is your
on.
second week in a row.
Yeah.
You get a chance to
Hey,
hang out with me.
I listen, as long as he doesn't kick me out, I'm gonna be here, man. So
Oh, sit back, get comfortable.
I'm
If
getting
you're
comfortable.
watching this in a replay, thank you for coming through. If you're watching this right now and you ever hear anything in this show that you like, that encourages you, that you feel
Mhm.
good about, do me a favor, hit the like button. Let me know that you liked it. I see likes going already. If you're
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
in like Mr. Camera Junkie, do me a
Mr. Camera
favor and
Junkie.
just say hello.
I love
Just
it.
like that. Say hello to everybody.
I
Louise, it's
love it.
good to see you. And yeah, I got Miss Tatiana here. Good to see you as well. Guess what? We all had a chance to meet at
Hmm.
a creator camp. And guys, tell me this. Are y'all still kind of like at all at the opportunity to be at creator camp together?
Wow.
Yeah, I can tell you for an absolute fact I am. It was absolutely phenomenal.
And
Yeah. Just a blast. I mean, that was just the most amazing experience and getting to meet the Ecamm fam in person. I can't wait till the next creator camp. It was just incredible. So just amazing experience and I learned so much and just finding out that people really are just as awesome in real life as they are on video. So on YouTube. So that's amazing.
hey,
Yeah,
Neil,
I
thank you
couldn't.
for coming through. He says he's late, but he's in for a short time. Hey, if you're just in for a couple of minutes, no matter. Hopefully, we give you enough content in the time that you're here. You can enjoy. Everybody else is coming through. I'm telling you, thank you
Yeah.
guys for being a part of the show. And just like Mr. Camera Junkie is saying here, please put a Q colon in front of any questions you might have. Tonight, we will take a lot of questions. But more importantly, we want to talk to you
Hmm.
about the ups and downs of being a content creator. If you have been a content creator for all of a week, you understand that you could make a post, Roy, you could make a post, and this could be a post that you've been working on for 2 or 3 days. You think this is the best content you've ever done. And on the other end of that could be crickets.
Crickets, man.
Yeah, definitely.
The none of your friends are looking at it. Is didn't get any traction. Just nothing. Sometimes that
Yeah.
happens.
Now I just
That
I just want to interject there as well, Strick.
Yeah.
It's an ebb and flow, right? It's this roller coaster, and I think a lot of it is in the mind, but in terms of what we expect the reactions to be from the content that we're putting out there, but man, it has been the content creator journey is different, and for those of us who are streamers, there is a certain rhythm to content creation for streamers that is separate and different from those who do produce content. And then there's those who do written content. And then those who do shorts and reels. And so there's all these different types and forms of content, but there's that expectation in the mind of, all right, I've worked on this. Oh, this is really gonna hit. And sometimes it's crickets, or you just have a quick thought, right? I'm gonna just flip on that other side of it, Strick. You have this quick thought, and you're like, man, let me put this out. I don't have a clue what this is gonna look like, what it's gonna feel like, but let me put this out. And then all of a sudden, there's this massive response, and you're like,
yeah.
okay, I didn't expect that. So it's this feast or famine kind of scenario, man. And
That's
Roy,
true.
man, talk to us a little bit about that
Yeah.
experience,
I,
brother.
I mean, definitely that's the craziest thing. You will put so much effort into a video. Say, oh man, this is gonna be a banger. Everybody's gonna watch this. I'm just so excited. And you put it out there, and it's just you said, it's just crickets. Nobody
Yeah,
watches.
yeah.
And then you're like, ah, fine, I'm just gonna make this video real quick. And then that just blows up. And
Blows
I
up.
just like, what? I don't understand.
It's
So
like
it
what?
just yeah, you know. But I mean, like you're happy when it happens. But then I'll have a video that doesn't do well when it first comes out, and then months later, all of a sudden it's getting traction. So YouTube suddenly said, you know what? I'm going to pick your video today and now
Mhm.
I'm going to give it views. And like, well, wait,
Mhm.
I didn't do anything different. What, why wasn't that video amazing when I did it before? And it's just the roller coaster that is YouTube. So
That is so true.
absolutely.
That is so
So
true. I want to say what's up to Dan and AG that's in the comments. Thank you guys for watching us tonight. Check this out. I want to ask Roy a couple of questions because I love the content creator journey and story. So we're going to dive into that just for a
mhm.
minute, and then we'll get back to some of the ups and downs. Roy, how did you actually start making
I
content online?
So I've been podcasting for a long time, since 2017. So I had a tech podcast, and then um, I kept collecting gear. I was like, I have to be perfect. I have to have the perfect gear, and I kept collecting gear in order to go live.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I got an email from Ecamm because I was using the call recorder, and they said, "Hey, um, we've got this new thing where you can go live on Facebook." I'm like, "Well, I don't know why I'd ever want to go live on Facebook, but okay, I'll go ahead and buy it." And then I did Larry Petrucci's Lita live every day in April, and I did
Yes.
that, and that's when the bug hit me, and I said, "You
Wow.
know what? I could do something similar to my podcast as a live stream," and so that's how I got started, and I'm just addicted, and now I go live every Tuesday night, and I have been consistent for 2.5, almost 3 years now. So there's just an adrenaline rush to going live, and when there's a
Wait
community
a
out
minute.
there
How
that
often are
joins
you
me,
going live again?
I go
Every
live
Tuesday?
once a week. I go live
Gotcha.
every Tuesday. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's just an amazing adventure, and I've started having guests on my show, and we talk about the content creator's journey, and
Mhm.
we talk about just the fact that YouTube is hard. It is not
Yeah.
as easy as people think. You don't
Right.
just put a video out there and I'm not a viral video person. I am an evergreen video person. I want to
You
make
and me
the
both.
video that teaches you something that you can come back and watch 6 months, 6 years later, and you're still going to learn something from it. There's something, I don't get into keywords that much. I know that's a big thing is to go get a keyword, make a video for that. But no, I'm trying to make something focused on what I'm focused on. And that's about content creation and how to just keep getting better and better at it and not be afraid to hit that go live or that record button and make it happen. So, and I'm
Okay.
big on creators helping other creators. I think the creator community is just amazing, and the folks that I've met are just giving and so sharing,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
and so it's just been an amazing journey. It's just amazing. So
So
I'm
you
having
said
so
you
much
had a
fun
I
doing
want
it.
podcast first. What was that? Hold on
I
one
did.
second. Actually, Kurt, go ahead. I know you had a question coming from that. I'll get
what
mine
I
second.
wanted to yeah, there's just one little quick thing I wanted to double click on, and that is just to kind of give some flowers to Luria. I think she in that whole
Yeah,
Lita scenario live every day, and I think it's August, right, Roy? She
April.
has kind
We're
of
August
it's
now,
April,
so
okay.
yeah,
She has kind of shepherded so many people into this whole live streaming game and just help people to kind of find their sea legs and get their footing under them, get their first couple 30 or so lives in out of the way, and then transition that into regular content creation or a regular live show. And I just love that that's something that she gives to the community, and yet she's still accessible. Like, she was
Yeah.
there at a creator camp. I think she was one of our camp counselors.
She was my camp counselor.
She was your camp counselor. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, she between her crew and Diana's crew, I think they were first and second. But
Yeah,
she
yeah.
she
Next
still
level, of
gives.
course, won the whole thing. So I don't want to brag or boast about next level group, but
I figured this was coming. This was going to come up, but I just wanted to say, because I heard Royce mention that in his origin story, and I just thinking to myself, like, man, how many people has Luria and live streaming pros helped
yeah,
to launch into this space? That's
yeah.
just that's something to be
It is.
admired, and something
It
that we
is.
should really should appreciate. I really appreciate her for what she does in this space.
I had a
So yeah.
chance to spend some time with her, interview her, and just be around her.
Hmm.
Super cool people, man. I
Absolutely,
really,
absolutely.
I really liked her better after spending that time, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. I did.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too to really share. I think, that's where Roy kind of landed, was meeting these people in person and realizing that they're just as dope. And I think
Yeah.
there's something to be said for these connections and relationships and networks that you're building online,
Yeah.
making that double investment by, showing up in person.
Right.
The last time I was a guest on Strick show, I actually physically went to his house
Oh yeah.
and sat next to him in his studio, and we broadcast from there. And I just, again, it's one of those things of it. I would never have met DJ Strick. I would never have met Tech Troublemaker or Roy, whichever one you know him as, were it not for this community, this great community that we have. And so, and one of coming back to the topic of tonight, one of the cheat codes in content creation is having community.
Oh man, I
That's
would
it.
say, Kirk,
Yeah.
man, you hit the nail on the head. That's probably like the number one thing.
That's it.
Like that is the golden
Yeah.
ticket. If you want to make it as a content creator, I mean, I hate to start off with all the good stuff early, but having a community, Roy, Kirk, man, everybody is listening is so important.
So
Because I would give you one really quick, and then I want to go to the comments because we have tons of people in the comment I want to get to. For me, the first person I had community with, Let's Get Live crew, Ecamm fam, was Alicio Way. I
Alicia
can't
Way.
say enough about the camaraderie we have. I mean, we would have phone calls, we would talk, we would do live streamings. Now, of course, he's doing some business right now that he had to kind of focus for his family, but he's still an extremely great content creator.
Absolutely.
He has like one of the biggest hearts of always wanting to help. And he has one of the coolest names in tons of music videos that you can watch anytime you get ready. So I really found community in them and Kirk. And there's just so many people, even Miss Diana, when I met her, it's just like, we're like family,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just now get a chance to see each other in person at the camp. But knowing those folks over time, let me not even start with that. I've started the stream show with Brent Collins, another
That's right.
person I still have community with. Man, Brent, I love him. I love his knowledge, his wisdom. If I have an issue with something or a question, guess what? Me and Brent would talk like two little gossiping girls, on the phone. I mean, and
love
we're
that.
talking about, I'm saying all that to help you guys understand how important community is.
Yeah.
And having that in your journey, because there will be ups, and you want to call somebody that can celebrate you when you have ups. Kirk came when he came and hung out with me. Guess what? He had some stuff he couldn't share with everybody that was an extreme up for him. Guess what? He was able to share it with me, and I was able to celebrate with him.
That's it.
And when you get low, somebody that won't let you just drown in your low.
Come on.
All that is important. All of that is important. Great point. I mean, I can go on and on about how much Ecamm fam as a community is just awesome, has been awesome, and they are continuing to just do some great things together. So let me do this because this is the first time I saw Cliff. So Cliff, thank you for coming to the stream show tonight.
man.
You guys look and
Welcome,
sound
Cliff.
great. I've become a lighting and sound geek. Oh man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that people like our sound. I love how the stream show sounds, and
Hey, man.
It is what it is, right?
Listen, on this show we geek out. So Cliff,
Yes.
you're in the right space, brother.
My man Dan, I didn't
we
realize
like you.
Roy was a creator. I thought he just liked to talk. Well,
The honest accomplice, I love it.
he's
I love
on with some talkers today, so we're gonna make sure we give him some time. And there,
Absolutely.
my man, James Hicks, man, thank you for coming through. And Mr. Comedy Junkie Lower is how I found Doc Rock. Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
Vincent is here. Vincent, man, how are you doing, sir? Appreciate you coming through. And I started with Lita in August of 2021. That led
right.
me to Ecamm. That's awesome.
That's it.
All those people that went from her group to Ecamm, I'm just seeing the affiliate sales as well. It's like, man, maybe I need to start a group. Equip Institute, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Love it. Love
Hey, Florence.
Ecamm. is no joke, no limits. You're right,
No
Cliff.
limits. No limits.
And
I love that.
let me see. Here we go. Evening. How are
Yeah.
you doing? Have to watch and catch up early in the morning. Well, good night, man. Appreciate you coming through. Oh, another one of the next level crew. Yo, hello, everyone. You guys look fresh as always. Thank you, Brandon, for
What's up,
coming through.
Brandon? What's up?
And man, stressed out, stress free. Thank you, sir, for coming through tonight, hanging out with
Absolutely.
us.
Absolutely.
I can't get enough of people supporting and coming through and at least saying hello to us as we
Mm-hmm.
do this. Now, Roy, we stop with you beginning to being a content creator. You said you actually started with a podcast, right?
I did start with a podcast, which
What
I
was?
have resurrected, and it's still out there. So
Nice.
Oh,
now it's repurposed content. I take my live stream and I turn that into my audio podcast. It just made the most sense to me to do that. And I go through and, of course, try to take out any visual elements where it just doesn't make sense to the listener and put that out there. So, yeah, it's called the One Off Tech Podcast.
and what do you focus on that particular show? Or will you say this is the audio version of your?
Now it's the audio version, so it's turned into a content creation podcast. Let's see, I'm number 600 in the tech podcast right now, supposedly around the world. So we'll see.
Come on.
Nice.
You know why I celebrate that and say, come on, Roy? Because you got to start somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You got to start somewhere. I mean, you won't always be number 600. I will tell you that 100%. When you go to 5 and 4 and 3 and
That's
you're
right.
in the hundreds,
That's right.
remember I said you will always be in the 600s, man.
Yeah.
And consistency is the way to do it. Consistency, because it's going to be 500 other people. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You're
are.
going to keep going.
Consistency, man. It's gonna eat people for breakfast. That thing is that's such a great another great point for content creators to really sink their teeth into, man.
And
Go
that's
for
the
the
biggest
long
thing.
haul. Yeah.
Make it easy for people to find you. If you are consistent, then people will start turning up, and then you will build a community. And I was very fortunate because of Lita. One of the people in Lita with us went to Facebook and made a group and invited all of us. And we have been together, the Ride and Die group. You know, it's just supporting each other as our channels grew and just being on each other's streams. It's all about collaboration. It's all
Yep.
about community. It's all about making friendships. And the Ecamm community is just fantastic. And so many of us in that group use Ecamm. So it's very easy to have conversations. Hey, when I do this, this isn't working and that type of thing. So, I mean, community is it. And really, you know, if nobody subscribed to my channel, just my community alone just is what makes it all worthwhile. And then when I get comments from people that say, hey, Roy, thank you. That was so helpful what you just showed me and that type of thing. That makes all this worth it. That's exactly
does.
why I love this content creation journey, because my goal is to teach people. You know, a lot of times it's me learning something and then perfecting it to the best I can and then showing others how to do it. And
How to
so,
do it. I love
you know,
it.
I also learn best by teaching. So that's the other part is we kind of, it really sinks into our minds when we teach somebody something we've learned. And this isn't a secret sauce, so there's no reason to keep all the content, the secrets to ourselves, because it isn't secret. It's just put it out there for everybody to help everybody out, because it lifts everybody at the same time when you help others out. So
Man, you said a
that is
lot
so
there.
true. That is
Yeah.
so true. Let me ask you this. A lot of people, Roy, understand how to handle the ups. They understand how to handle that. I mean, sometimes the ups are easier than the downs. In order to be successful long term, you have to be able to kind of not allow the waves to go so far up and so far down. You got to be able to, you know, make them smaller so the downs are not so hard on you. Is there a time in your content creator journey where you had a down that stood out more than others?
well, yes. So I have a very busy day job, and then of course I've got a family and things that I do with church and everything. So there are times when it feels like, wow, it's going to be tough trying to create content. You know, I've kind of gotten where I don't make as many recorded videos now because I've reached a level of doing so many different things and involving so many things. But you know, I've hit, you know, I know Doc Rock would say burnout's not a real thing, and he's right. It's we get to a point where we're just overwhelmed at being overwhelmed, and so
Mm.
usually like April of last year, I definitely hit a low point where I felt like that creating content, I was just trying to keep the hamster wheel moving, and I wasn't making the quality of content that I wanted to make, and pretty much I'm of that mindset. If this is not good stuff, I don't want to do it. I don't want to
Right.
waste anybody's time because people are taking the time to watch like this show right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this show. You
Yes.
could be doing something else.
So true.
And I am humbled by the fact that you're here. Thank you for watching. And I want to, my thought process always is that we need to give people something of value
Right.
so that when they leave the show, wow, that was time well spent. And that is my goal always. And so, yeah, I definitely hit a burnout period. And at the time, I was trying so hard to release so much content. And because I knew every time I released a lot of content, my channel would get a bump and I started getting lots of subscribers, lots of views, that type of thing. But it's not worth it to, to kind of really, affect your mindset like that and just, kind of hit a low point
Right.
in what you're trying to do. So if it stops being fun, if you stop helping people, it may be time to stop. And
Mm.
so, but if you just really think about your why am I doing this? And it's because I want to help others. You can get through that. You can push through, and you will keep doing it, and you will make content that people want to watch. You may need to refine how you do it just a little bit every time. I always say get 1% better every time.
That's
Find
right.
one thing to change and improve on. If you go to my
Yeah.
channel, don't look at my early videos, or if you want to, sure, it's a good laugh. But now, the quality of the stuff I do now is just so much better. But then I'm also in my mind thinking, how can I make it even better than what I'm doing now? And that's what I suggest to people is figure out what's your why. Who are you doing content for? Because you shouldn't be doing content for yourself. You should be doing content for others. If you do content for yourself, after a while, nobody's going to watch because,
Mm.
well, there's Roy doing a video about this again, and I don't even care about that. When he talks about this, that's something I want to watch. So you really got to think about what's your why.
That's true.
Mm.
That's true. I like
A
that.
lot of
And
wisdom. A lot of
Kirk, I'm
wisdom.
gonna come to you in just 1 second when we
Sure.
talk about rememberable down. And I want to talk to people about a process, a year-long process when it comes to creating content.
Mm-hmm.
We have a schedule, and we've told people that you need to have a consistent schedule. But we haven't expanded that thought well enough to teach people that television does 26 weeks, 13 to 26 weeks. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They do seasons that may be just in the fall. They take the summers off.
Yes, they do.
And we are live streamers that have to stream 52 weeks. I want to tell you guys, because Roy has kind of mentioned it, if you do 52 weeks of content for years with S on the end, there's going to come a time where you are tired. Okay, there's going to come a time where you feel like my content is not helping someone. Like my why is to help somebody. I'm not helping someone because you haven't given yourself time to recharge at all.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a period in the summer. I would say from a content creator standpoint, this was Roy and Kirk and everybody that's listening, my down point. It was probably about 5 weeks in a row where I could not do the stream show.
Mm.
I was super tired. I haven't planned for guests. I haven't put any energy into the show, and I could not just go on. And it was probably about 5 weeks in a row. And it was not playing Roy at all. I didn't plan not to do the show. My wife does her festival and traveling during the summer. And not only am I doing I'm my full-time job at the church, and then all the other things that I have going on, I did not have the lead time to really put some shows ideas down and also do all of the things I have to do to get guests on. Roy, you know what it's like to get a guest. I mean, we actually did it the organic way, talking through Instagram, but it could be really,
Right.
really hard, right? And it was tough because now I had to figure out how to get back up on a Sunday, but have the lead time that I need to get a guest to get me started and the right guest to give the energy to that show that I'll come back to. It was
Mm-hmm.
really, really hard. It was
Yeah.
really hard. And it was really down for me. But I also found out that I need to be prepared next summer to take time off. To take
Absolutely.
time off and just say,
Yep.
hey, June, July, we're going to be down at the stream show. We're going to see you back in, August, September, whatever, but have that knowledge already ready, or even have some shows in the can or record some shows so I don't have to be live, just in case as I'm traveling with my wife. And now there's ways for me to travel with some live streaming equipment, but that's her time, I'm
Yeah.
actually working for her at the time. So I want to be, if we're out on a Sunday, I want to be able to give her that time. So that's something I wanted to share, expanding the idea of being consistent. But also, if we want to make this long term, you're going to have to put breaks inside. And it just doesn't have to be a summer break. Guess what? We have holidays coming up. You need a Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
You need a Christmas break.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
do.
it needs to be there. I need you to understand that. Can we do some fun things like I've done New Year's Day 5-hour stream with a bunch of friends, and we just went on and had some great community. But also, there was some times where I had to go upstairs and hang out with the fam.
Yeah. It's true.
You know,
It's
I
true.
had to
You got
get
to plug back into
offline
real.
and hang out with my family. So when we're talking about the creator journey and ups and downs, I don't know. I was never told. We never talked about a strategy for the year.
Mm.
And I think a lot of us had the expectation that I need to be on, like Roy said, every Tuesday. I'm going to be on 52 weeks on a Tuesday. It is not sustainable, nor is it good. Even when you're working with your audience, how are you growing? Like, how are
Mm.
you learning something to be able to bring back, or just freshen yourself? You need a holiday and a vacation. Take off, but do it in a planned way that your audience understands, knows they will support you and be ready for you to come back. Now, I did a lot of talking there, Kirk, and we had a lot of people in the comments. But that being said, Kirk, I want to
Yeah.
get your perspective on that.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it. I'm glad you did a lot of talking because I had to walk my way through it. But it was March of last year, so 2022, March of last year. I had just finished up a number of projects. So for those that there's several different ways that I do content creation. I create for my own channel, but I had a number of brands that I was creating content for, so my videos were actually being put on their channels on a regular basis. So that rhythm was very much
Right.
I guess exponential. But I went to social media marketing world. I met Diana Gladney for the first time. This was that first one after the pandemic, that everybody at Ecamm had that big meetup at. And
I didn't get a chance to
um
go, and I was all
I know.
upset, and I
There's a
said I
lot
would
of FOMO
never
for
miss
that one.
another one.
I'm trying to think if it was 2022 or 20. It had to be 2022. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
so I went there and I remember sitting and chatting with her about a couple of different things. And one of the things she said to me was, give your audience the gift of scarcity. And I was
I
like,
like that.
what does that mean? And she's like, if you're showing up, live streaming is building community. And so if you're showing up to build community, if you're showing up to answer questions, you're showing up, even if you're showing up with a live show with a guest, you're showing up and your audience comes and you have this whole experience together. But at a certain point, especially for her, she kind of told me about her helpcast that she did on Friday. She's like, there's a certain point where she realized that it had passed its usefulness. Now
Okay.
people were coming, they're just kind of coming to hang out and chat because she was there, but they weren't necessarily coming asking questions anymore. So she shut it down for a month or two and then brought it back sparingly. And as she brought it back, she could see a major difference in terms of what the
Mhm.
types of questions, type of interest, some type of feedback. And I remember saying, "Oh man, I'm going to do this." So I took some time off from some of the live streams. I do a midweek huddle on Wednesdays where I just, go live and answer questions. I have a regular interview type live show that I do on Mondays, and so we just kind of took some time off from some of those. And I remember getting some consult sessions booked. And I met with one guy and just chatted with him. And I was like, "Yeah, so what are we working on today?" He paid for the hour. Okay. Roy, DJ Strick, the dude paid for the hour.
Wow.
And he says to me, I came to the live 2 Wednesdays in a row and realized that you weren't there, and realized that, that it kind of clicked in my head that you don't actually have to show up.
Wow.
And I began to recognize that I was taking you for granted. And so I
Wow.
booked this session just to say thank you.
Hmm.
I don't have any questions to ask. You have helped me immensely. I paid your consult session fee, full fee, just to tell you I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up when you don't have to. Thank you for answering my questions. And I'll see you next week. I was like, what in the
That's
world?
awesome. That's awesome.
So I just wanted to put that out there for people, man. I'm not. I think that what DJ Strick said is critical. Don't just take a random break. You want to make it a part of your rhythm. You want to kind of lead up to a season finale, if you will, and have a crescendo, as in have a full celebration that we've reached this milestone, episode 50. We're going to take some time off, but we're celebrating. Allow your audience to have that experience with you, and then take the break.
That's right. That's right.
There's
So Kirk, part of my full-time job is, I work at a church, and I've had to have the same conversation with my pastor. No joke.
absolutely.
No joke. I was like, okay, we got 52 weeks here. All
Hmm.
right. I need you to,
Hmm.
there's no way you should be preaching 52 weeks out of the year. Like, I need you to take your wife on vacation. I need you to take a break. We need to have a plan. Like, if it's 10, like, we're going to do 42 weeks and plan this out. If you in your real full-time job, guess what you have? Your company pays you to go on vacation.
There it is. That's a
All right.
very good point, Strick. Very
Take
good.
it. Take the vacation. Go woosah.
Are,
And we're
are you sure
saying
about
this
that?
because we want to help people handle the downs. And my downs was, of course, because I felt really bad about not showing up when I absolutely could not show up. And knowing that now the summer is going to be hectic for me, because what happened was, hey guys, we're coming to the comments in just a second. We got a tons of comments here. We're going to get a chance to talk
We're
to you
gonna get to
guys.
him. We're gonna get to him. Yeah.
We started a lot of this content creation stuff in our groups during the pandemic. Guess
Yeah.
what? Doc Rock was almost live every day.
Literally.
Okay, he was almost live every day, and there was an expectation that even after the world opened back up, that we would be able to get content like that all the time. And guess what? People had to work, so they couldn't
You
be
had to work.
there. So there was less and less opportunities to go live because people are doing other things. But somewhere in the back of our minds, we still thought that we needed to be showing up so often, and that didn't have to be the case. Live streaming is one of the ways to, if you have a business, whether it's service or you got a widget, if you're trying to build community, if you have some information that you want to get out fast to a community, but also then repurpose that, live streaming is a great way to do that. But you can also be a content creator that records a lot as well.
That's
Okay, you
very
don't
true.
have to just do it that way. That being said, help me out where I should go, Kirk, on these comments, because we have them. There's a couple people
Yeah.
that chimed in. I want to start right here with Reigning Cajun that says, Kirk, what course are you playing today? He see you with your
Hey,
golf hat on.
the golf the golf hat. I'm in full Tiger Woods uniform right now.
That's what's
No,
up.
no. I'm traveling right now, and so no, I did not play on the course today, but that is hilarious, Rainy Cajun. Thank you so much for that comment. I see Tatiana teaches. No, my bad. The honest accomplice. I wanted to pull up this comment as well, Strick. I want to give flowers where it's due. And yes, just because we talked about Luria does not mean that, it doesn't take any shine from anybody else.
Right.
Doc Rock is another person that I think has done phenomenal work. But Stephanie Garcia, another person with Lights Camera Live, phenomenal work. A lot of what I do as a remote producer, I learned at the feet of Stephanie. So don't get it twisted. We appreciate all of them. There's so many gurus
Yes.
That's right.
that are in the Ecamm community that just share a ton of immense value, and it's crazy to me because they could literally hoard it to themselves and just
That's
reap
right.
the benefits, but they choose to just kind of open it up and share, and that's absolutely awesome. So thank
Hey,
you for
Roy
that
didn't know.
comment.
I mean, Dan didn't know me well enough to know how much of a fanboy I am about Stephanie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally
Like,
agree.
dude, you got to check out the stream show that Stephanie was on.
Oh
Listen.
man,
She's
And
awesome.
and she was at the camp, and
Yep.
you ever listen, guys? If you ever have been somewhere and you just kind of have to hold your composure.
yes.
Hi,
No,
Strick.
really.
Hi, Stephanie. And on the inside, you're like, ah. Hey,
She's got so much energy. I mean,
yeah, she's got a lot of energy, but
amazing.
I'm like, wow. So I had to, I've seen people that I like, that I admire, but let's just be cool. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Glad you made it to camp.
That's awesome.
And inside, you're going crazy because you meet like one of your favorites. So that is also true. So let me not. Let's say this: Roy is very nice, and
So committed. Yeah,
yeah,
committed
he's
to helping
committed to
others.
helping
Yeah,
others.
he
And
absolutely is, and I love that. Thank you, Tatiana.
that's why you will always win. Like if you have the right motive, the right purpose behind what you do, um, man, it just helps to get in front of that camera and turn these lights on, make sure your mic is right. All the stuff that we have to do. If you're thinking, man, if I could just help one person, that's it. It's my takeaway nugget. Give you some of the downtown resource charge. Plan that recharge time. Yes, plan it out.
Yep, plan it out.
Plan it out.
That is the thing. I think we don't plan the time. We need to be more intentional. We are just as intentional as we are about putting out quality content, designing it, making sure that the hook works, making sure that the title and the description flow, making sure that it's going to meet the target audience where they are, it's going to scratch where they're itching. Put that same level of intentionality into your rest time, into your
That's true.
what refills you. And I would even say that even in your normal rhythm, right, when not just when you have that longer break, that formal break, but even in your normal rhythm, I have things that I do to be able to stay consistent. There's things that I do on a day-to-day basis that refill me, that allow me time away from the studio, time away from content creation, scripting, thinking about ideas, trying to meet deadlines and deliverables from clients. I have things that I do, and you got to figure out what those are that are for you. For me, I love
That's
to cut the
true.
grass.
I love that.
It's
That's
not
true.
everybody. That's not everybody's thing, but I love to cut the grass. People ask me all the time, why don't you just pay somebody to cut the grass? I'm like, no, cutting the grass refills me. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. I don't need to, but it refills me. And I'm behind that lawnmower. I don't even have a riding joint, y'all. I have a push mower, and
I'm
it
a
just
push more guy
does
too.
it for me, man.
But it's art to me. It's art.
It's art
So
to me too.
it's a whole nother thing. It's a South thing, guys. We
Yeah.
have
Lines in
larger
the-
lawns,
Oh,
and
God.
it's a competition between you
It
and your
is.
neighbors who can have the best lawn. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. So
I'm sorry. No,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because it's such a
I watch people slow up when they pass my yard. That's when I'm like, okay, I did that. I make them
Yeah.
stop. It's like, okay, what are you doing today? And I explain it to them. I get it. I love that.
From where I live to where I am now is a 2-hour drive. I spent an hour and a half of that watching lawn cutting videos on YouTube. Yeah, that's I love lawn.
It's
love.
like ASMR. It's like ASMR.
It really
It
is.
is.
That process of watching the grass is tall and now I'm done. And you slowly go and you're leveling it down. It's going and you
Come
see
on.
your progress. Instant feeling of gratification
That's
that
it.
you've accomplished the
Instant.
task. You've got
Instant.
it done. There it is. Yeah.
The edging, right? I love the cut, but I also love the edge.
The edge is so critical.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm in the right space.
Anyways,
I'm in the
okay,
right
you
space.
got me
Clearly, I'm in the
started,
right
Kurt.
space
You
with the
got me
right
started.
people.
Let me
I
go
know.
back to these comments. And Gretchen had something to say. That's why I had to take a break after a year of everyday lives. Man, nobody told us you don't have to do every
You don't have to do
lives
every
every
day.
day.
Mm-mm.
Like, don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do it. I took a month off, and when I came back, I was recharged so I could reduce my live schedule to twice a week. Get something that you can be consistent with, but
Yeah.
also find ways that you can put breaks in there. And yes, Ronell,
Yeah.
hit that reset.
Kerwin. I do.
Find ways to be able to do that.
Sometimes that reset is doing a one-off episode that's different from everything else. Like, for example, I do a
That's good.
Christmas special every year. That doesn't I will try to have a tech topic or something about content creation, but really I'm just reaching out to my creator friends and we're just having a goofy time and it's just a lot of
Love it.
fun and just fun to watch. And that's just something different. And sometimes another way to take a break is to do a one-off that is different than everything else you do to kind of you don't want to go too far off your niche, but you do want to venture a little bit, just something that's just fun to delve into. And that just kind of gives you a break and kind of gives you a chance to kind of recharge and regroup and get your mindset back on track. And YouTube is not going to penalize you for one video that's not the exact niche that you're in. If you keep on, maybe, but that's a different topic.
So for us to be able to get an example of that, tell us like one of the ones that we went through your YouTube channel was just like a fun thing for you did to put up.
So the 13 days of Christmas, you got to find that. So a lot of my creator friends, we all did the 12 days of Christmas. Each sang of like a verse of it, and I spliced it all together, and it was just we just had a blast. It was hilarious. So
Oh, that's what's
just
up.
take a look.
I love that.
And then I've had like a Christmas special where I bring on Lala and a few of them are creator friends who are available. We just had a good time talking about Christmas. Those are the kind of things I will do that's just a little different and throw that in there. Does it get the biggest hits?
Shouldn't have,
No, but we're having a great
looked at
time.
the comments. I shouldn't have looked at the comments every time.
Okay. Let me get back to it then. Let me get back to it. So let me get back to this one with Chris. Chris, man, it's good to have you hanging out with us.
Oh my
I miss you, brother. We hadn't talked in a while. Burnout is real. Take a break while you still can.
Yes.
Make a
Very
decision
wise.
to break. Nobody keeps score.
The body keeps
The
score.
body.
This is
That's true.
absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct, Chris Gloss. You're so right on that.
Mental wellness and resetting of the mind is something we tend to brush off, but we need to take it more seriously.
Totally agree, Kerwin.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally
That
agree.
is definitely something we need to be sure that we do take seriously because we will be able to see it in your content.
Mhm.
Your content
Absolutely.
will hurt if you're not in the right space. You know, to look like a baseball field goal. Oh, that is right. That is so right. And then Gretchen is saying that she watches them too.
Hey,
So do you guys watch the guy that just knocks on somebody's random door that's got a backyard and he's going to cut them? And it's just a lawnmower going in the background. I sit in here because you have all these TVs. I'm sitting here like this. I'm supposed to be working. And I got my arms folded watching somebody cut some random yard.
You know
I
what
haven't
it is,
seen it before.
Strick. You know what it's that guy in particular, and you know what it is these people would not have they could not pay him to do this service. And because we're watching the video on YouTube, it enables him to provide this service to this person.
That's
for
true.
free. There's just so much wrapped up in it. I don't want to go off the deep end, but
well, let me go off the deep end just a little bit. He has a business, a service business, right?
Yes, he does.
He is a YouTube content creator that has taken his business, something that he wanted to do, and he says, "Hey, I could cut somebody's yard for free, put up a couple of cameras, and thousands to millions of people are just watch this, and I can get paid for something I want to do to help somebody else that couldn't even pay me." Who would think that?
And it's the greatest commercial for himself. I'm sure he does gangbuster business with his lawn care business because of it.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's the ultimate. Is what Roy talked about earlier was, when you feel the burnout, when you're in a space where you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, you've got to go back to what your why is. And I think, trying to right the ship, right? Because I don't want to go off the deep end with the lawnmower joint, but I think what the lawnmower guy has done is he has created that rock solid why. Like
Right.
the why isn't just that he wants to get these views on YouTube. The why is I have the equipment. I'm literally I'm trying my best not to preach here, Strick, but
Come on, let it out, brother.
I'm gonna tithe some of my business back into the community by providing this service for free. And what God does, I'm so off the deep end now, but what God does is he says, just because you were willing to tithe, I'm going to give it back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I'm going to give it back to you in the form of millions of views. I'm going to give it back to you in the form of increased territory, enlarged partnerships. I'm going to give it back to you because you were willing to take what I gave you and serve others in a way that they could never have paid you for. And I think that if you can find a way in your content to serve people in a way that they could never pay you for, that to me is the ultimate cheat code. You want to be consistent, find that part.
I agree.
All right, I'm done now.
I
sorry,
agree.
y'all.
Because the being a giver, or just that whole mindset of the giving as a principle, guess what? That thing goes so far. Okay, in church, out of church, business owner, whatever, no matter what walk of life you're in, if you understand the concept of giving to people, now Kirk said it in a bunch of different ways.
I did.
That whole idea of being able to serve somebody else, all right, and giving to somebody, answering questions that people have, being a source for people that can come to you and get something, that transcends all of the things that we can be as a content creator.
Absolutely.
Why do I watch Doc Rock? I watch Doc Rock because he's going to give me some information that I would not otherwise get. And if I listen long enough, he's going to tell me something. He's going to answer a question I didn't even have yet. Like, I'm right. I didn't even know I needed that.
Even know I needed
that. So that's why I know that he's a resource for me. Now, this is what I want to do. I want to get back to these comments. I got 20-something people watching. I only have 16 likes. So if you're watching this right now, I hadn't hit the like button, shame on you, but I want your comment anyway. I forgot where we stopped, so let's just say this. Sounds like y'all need to start a lawn care OnlyFans page.
This is the one that got me, the OnlyFans page.
Hey, I'm telling you,
you got me on that one.
I'm telling you, like I've watched it like it was an OnlyFans. Like I'm watching somebody cut somebody else's lawn.
No,
so
really.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate the encouragement. I need to hear that. Thanks for taking the time to let me know. And this is where he was actually responding to something that Tatiana said and did, because she is doing some amazing things in our community, and we love her so much. Gretchen, and now that I've recorded and scheduled premieres for those times when I know I'm going to be off the grid or gone, the premieres run while I'm at Creator Camp. Excellent.
That's awesome, Gretchen.
Yeah, excellent.
That's cheat code upon cheat code.
Mm-hmm. So if anybody didn't get that, we're just trying to help people now understand that you want to be consistent, but you can have consistent breaks in there too. Oh my gosh, I find myself watching.
SB Moving. I didn't want to say any of the channel names because I know them, but you are absolutely right. K-Walk Comedy. That is.
And there's so many out there, about 12 of those grass cutting channels, but one guy does both grass cutting and power washing.
And I started watching the power washing too. I don't know what it is, man.
He starts off with, I think there's concrete under the grass. So he's got to pull up the concrete, and I got to watch it because where's the concrete? I don't see the concrete.
Listen, human beings are weird, and I love it.
It is so true. And yes, all Kirk needed was a little organ, and he would have been in there.
I'm
saying? Like I gotta find. I needed Keith Pelzer to come and play the organ for him.
Man.
Serve first. Boom. Yes. It's the truth.
Yeah. It's the
Ultimate
truth.
cheat
It's the
code.
truth.
Ultimate cheat code. Being able to do
Yeah.
it. Randy Cage knew what you were talking about. I never
Yeah.
even heard of lawn
Immediately.
care. So Tatiana, don't watch it. I'm telling you, if you
No.
go watch it, you're gonna be
Listen,
stuck watching
you gonna
somebody
be
cut
stuck.
grass.
You don't, especially if you need to be productive. Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Don't.
Trust me. Trust me on this.
Don't. Because then,
Oh
or
man.
she may be like, what are they talking about? Somebody cutting, who's watching people cut grass? Like,
Now,
that's not
now,
entertaining.
now, I know Tatiana. I'm telling you, she's gonna see one. She's gonna see one before and after picture with an old lady crying because she could never have cut her
Thank you.
yard, and she's gonna be
Thank you.
through. She's gonna be
Yeah.
through. She's gonna be like, "Oh my God, subscribe everywhere!" Right? Because it's a crazy thing. Anyway, let me stop talking now.
So I wanted to be sure, Roy, that as we talked about the journey for people, because we're talking about the ups and downs, and everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can handle the ups a little bit better than the downs, but my goodness, the downs could really get you. And then,
They can.
us saying community is one of the things that will really help. Trying to find a right schedule would really help. Making sure that you don't get through those downs, and then scheduling those times so that scheduling out a year of content, at least scheduling like when you would be live, so you're not caught up in I got a live stream but I can't because I got life going on, and then you just completely stop or you feel down. Is there anything else that we may be missing that we think, guys, that we can help people with when you're a content creator? Okay, let me do this one because now I
Mm,
got it.
mm.
How do you handle, and I started with this, but I want to be sure we circle back around now that we're saying it's a down period. How do you handle those times that people don't respond to your content?
That's a good question.
I reach out to other content creators and kind of talk it through. Sometimes you just need to talk and kind of create a collaborative and bounce ideas off each other and talk about the stresses you're going through, because if you can find somebody that's up when you're down, they're going to help bring you up to their level. And so definitely, talking to someone is a huge help. Some of us, we need to go talk to somebody professionally, but and that's fine.
True.
And but definitely talk to others who are doing on a similar journey as you are, and ask them for advice or wisdom, or just the support. Give you support. Just say, hey, just keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Roy, or thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Lala. Oh, just so many creator friends. You guys just and then sometimes you might invite somebody to take over your show, and just that you're taking a break and they come in because you have a similar mindset. They'll do a good job on your show. Let them take
That
over an
is
episode.
That's
You
good.
know, and yeah,
Luria's team asked me to take over her regular live stream, and that was first of all, it was a ton of fun, but you're correct, Roy. That is one of the things that you can do, is to lean on your
yeah,
community to make sure you can still provide that level of consistency, but doesn't actually have to be you.
no,
I hate to keep on going back to faith-based, but it's like a
yeah,
pastor in a pulpit. You guard
yeah,
who's going to be in that pulpit. You don't necessarily have to be the one, but you want to
Right.
make sure that the message that's being shared is relevant, that they're going to provide value, and that it's not going to be something wild and off in left field. As a content creator, you're building this community of subscribers, you're building this community of people who are looking to you for whatever is the question is that's in your value proposition. You just need to make sure that that value proposition is
yeah,
maintained. So that's such a good one. I hate to interrupt there, Roy, but I was
no,
as I was
yeah,
thinking about it, I was like, man, you hit the nail on the head with that. That's so good.
That is good. So I want to say this. Let me get back to this shot. There's
Ah,
so much that can happen. Okay. It was during the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, the app Clubhouse started. And Roy, I
this
don't
is true.
know how much time you may have spent on Clubhouse. I haven't been on Clubhouse in several months, but when it started up, there were times where some of the largest content creators in the YouTube space were in some of these clubhouse rooms, like Sean Cannell. I was there with Justin Brown was on
Oh
one.
yeah,
The
yeah,
beast.
yeah.
Sadiq, the
Mm.
Sony guy, he was in a couple of those things, and I was thinking to myself, why would these content creators that have millions of subscribers be taking the same time that I'm taking in Clubhouse?
Mm,
Because it
Yeah.
so
was so
good.
new at the time. And I came to the conclusion that no matter how many subscriber people have and where they are in their business, you still have to work. They're dealing with the same thing you're dealing with. Now, just because they have 1 million subscribers and they make a video and it gets 2,000 views, for you, 2,000 views may be a lot, but for
Yeah.
them, 2,000 views could be almost like nobody watched it.
Mm,
Yeah.
So everybody is working. You got to understand what YouTube or whatever platform you're on, what it is saying to you about your audience or the content in that video. And it's always a learning lesson. And sometimes, because some of our channels are so new, we
mm,
may be ahead of a curve that we don't even know is there. All right. So I'm not trying to say that
wow,
you're going to come back around
wow.
and your video is just going to explode, but that has happened to some people. So what I want you to do is not get so caught up in how many people viewed it and now have a real plan for your channel. So it allows you to understand it. Number one, everybody's working. Even some of the top content creators are working. Okay, they're not sitting on their hands saying, I got 1 million subscribers, I'm on automatic. No, they're making
Mm,
bigger and better content every time they go live. They're trying to
every single
outdo
time.
themselves, right,
Right.
Kurt?
Right, every time. And every time you get a chance to talk with them, you hear that drive to do better. I think that's one of the things that Creator Camp also was really great for, and of course
Yeah.
other meetings as well. I mentioned Social Media Marketing World and several other podcast Podfest and others. When you get a chance to meet with some of these folks, you kind of get this realization of, man, you're still hungry. You're still innovating. You're still looking to go to the next level. And I'm actually trying to figure out how to chase you down. And it's
Yeah.
like, that is
Right.
really a great dynamic that's there. And I'll share this piece because I recently had the opportunity to really do some things from a coaching perspective with vidIQ and looking at uh, creators who have these ridiculously successful channels, and they're still asking the same questions that we all are, y'all. Like
That's
they're
true.
asking the exact same questions that we all are. So it really kind of levels the playing field and allows you to know that you are not your last greatest video. you
Yeah.
you are
Come on.
actually the consistency that enables you to put out the next video. And I think there's something to be said for that, that we cannot erase, we shouldn't hide, we shouldn't put away. We really need to be looking into ourselves, figuring out us. Right, I talked about the lawnmower thing. That might not be your thing, but you figure out yourself, figure out what refills you, what are the systems you can put in place that will enable you to really put out that next video. We talked about Luria, we talked about Stephanie. These ladies, Doc Rock, several others, these people have systems that they've put in place.
That's
And
right.
one of the reasons why we're able to benefit from their knowledge is because they've put their knowledge into a system.
Right.
And so what is the system that enables you to put your best foot forward? Those are the pieces I think, we as content creators, you got to think those through. And as you get to those systems, you just work your system. You get into a lull, you get into a funk, you work your system. The system allows you to churn out that consistency, or your system tells
Yeah.
you this is your break time. This is your refilling time. But understanding yourself is still going to be that pivotal piece for your content.
Do me a favor, really quick, guys.
Definitely.
If you've been motivated by what we said today, you learned something that you never thought of today. I need you to just put yes in the comments. Just put yes in the comments. Let us know, like,
I'm gonna put yes myself.
you know, just let us know that this has been encouraging to you. I brought Roy on because number one, I really like his personality, all this stuff, man. He's just really cool, really quick-witted in his conversations and what he talks about, and just a genuine guy. So I wanted to have him on and to talk about the journey and the ups and downs. So I chose that, Roy, because of the content that's on your channel. Like, you
Yeah.
have really dove into helping other content creators, and I can appreciate talking about this particular topic because we all go through it.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and I'm not ashamed to admit when I've had periods of time where I'm just run down, and so I share that with others in hopes that, hey, they'll, like you said, let's take a break. You cannot go consistent every day. Our creative energy does have an end if you don't recharge the batteries. Same with life, same as our relationships, interaction with people. We have to recharge our batteries so that we can be our best. And so just try to be very open and honest about that kind of stuff on my channel. And I've had folks reach out to me after streams like that and say, "Hey, Roy, let's talk, man." So
Wow.
I try to keep it very open, and anybody wants to reach out to me, we talk. And done a bunch of Zoom calls with folks. Just say, "Let's talk about what's going on with your channel." Sometimes people hit a roadblock. I don't know what to do now, and we'll just go through and try to have like an idea, a brainstorming session to try to, and that's creators helping creators absolutely is the best way to go.
That is so true.
I'll see somebody that's got amazing content and people haven't discovered them yet, and I will go and watch that channel and interact with that channel and tell others about that channel and try to help them out. And because I'm also enjoying the content, but I'm like, hey, you might like this too. You need to go watch this guy. You need to go watch this girl's channel because they're amazing. And so definitely build a community for others as well. If you're helping others, it just comes back to you. You just find the blessing that comes back. When you're blessing others, you always get blessed.
That's
So
so good.
It is.
I,
So
I
it
just can't
was
agree with you more, Roy, on that. It always comes back to you. Go ahead, Strick.
it was Tanya Smith's show. I was on Stream Like a Boss, and Roy was in the comments. Tech Troublemaker was in the comments. That was the very first time that I had a chance to converse with you. It was the comments on her show, and then there was
she's
some other
awesome.
things that, yeah, she's awesome too. And there was some other shows that you were on, but I have the same heart that you do. I really like doing content creator journeys. I really like showcasing some of the new content creators. Definitely the Ecamm fam. I want to be able to showcase because all of us had to start somewhere, and
Yeah.
all of us are doing something. So if you haven't already, subscribes to the Tech Troublemaker YouTube channel.
Do it.
I need
Do
you
it.
to do that right now. Listen, let's go to these comments. I asked, where you were. Gretchen says yes. She got something out of today's show.
Love
Chris
it.
says yes. Thank you.
Love it.
Yes, I need systems. Kirk, that's going to be another show for us. We're going to go
I think so.
one-on-one with systems, like doing a whole year's worth of systems for people. Stressed Out, Stress-Free says yes. Chris, iron sharpens iron. We need each other. Tribe vibe. That is so very
That's
true.
a t-shirt right there.
And I have
Tribe
no
vibe.
idea what this is, Tatiana. I don't know what that is.
I think she's just
it's an
pointing
emoji, but I'm not really sure. Or okay,
I think she's pointing to the comment above, like tribe vibe is a whole vibe,
Yeah.
right? So I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. But you could correct us if I'm wrong, Tatiana.
I got you. Blazing Flash Media. Yes, I appreciate you guys. In all seriousness, you guys are quickly becoming Ecamm's favorite of mine. Listen,
we love that.
Yes, I have some favorites as well. So, man, can I say that I really like Anna and Fulgence?
I really
Can I
do.
say
They're
that
awesome.
I really like them?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I love that
Like,
show.
like I gotta say this. Doc Rock is my guy. I I'm in this. I'm doing this because of him. And then Marshall Fox. If you guys are not watching Marshall Fox, just
Yeah, the whole
I'm in
problem.
awe of the fact that he can just create the way he does. I'm in the middle of the day trying to do work. Marshall comes on because I get the Discord alert. I
Yep.
get the
Yep.
YouTube alert.
YouTube.
Okay,
Yep.
Marshall is on, and he takes 2 lines and build the logo out of it. Like, how is he doing that? You know, he's such a show off. Like, Marshall's a show off, but I love it. Okay, but you all had me on edge doing the lawn discussion. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, y'all. I'll show myself out. It is so true. And yes, we all love Tanya because of her love and doing some great things
Yeah.
in the content
Tanya's
space. So
really
yes,
good.
Equip Institute says yes, definitely got. Definitely got so much listening to the stream show. Thank you so very much. Ecamm programming is tight.
Love it.
Yep.
This
I love it.
show started off of an idea. I always tell Katie she's like the 3rd member of the stream show. We had a idea of doing 1 week takeover for Ecamm community page, Roy, and I thought it would be a
dope.
good
Yes.
idea to do a show. And she said yes. And that was, I don't know, 2020 or something like this. Anyways, it just worked. So this is the last one I'll do. Tatiana says, yes, I volunteer to be a case study for your systems makeover series. Okay, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's
That's
done.
good.
So
That's
we
good.
got one.
Tatiana, say less. Let's do this. Let's do
And-
this. I am a
and-
systems guy. Just as a FYI, I'm not only one of the other reasons why I love the lawn cutting is because I have OCD. So I like things just so. So seeing those lines in the lawn, it's very gratifying for me. It's a thing. But systems is also a byproduct of being an OCD guy. So let's listen. Let's build. I love it.
Yep.
So I won't let my son. He turned 18. I won't let him cut the front yard. Like, he can cut the
Nope.
backyard all
Nope.
day long. He cannot cut the front yard.
No.
Like, I've seen him cut the backyard, and his lines will be off. Like, where were you cutting,
No.
sir?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And I said, okay, my lines have got to be perfect in the front, so you can't cut it. So that's it. What, Roy, I brought you on, and we're talking about cutting grass. I don't know what that's all about. That being said, there are ups and downs in the content creator journey.
That's correct.
You want to be able to enjoy those ups, but you want to be able to fight through those downs so it doesn't take you out. You're going to have them. The biggest content creators have all of those issues. Listen, I've seen content creators that have made YouTube videos together. Roy, your idea of doing the 13 Days of Christmas is an excellent idea. There's also, and I got to figure this out for the stream show. I thought about it for Creator Camp, but I didn't do it. But I have to do this because I think it's a great idea, Kirk, to where we have other content creators. Maybe there's a question and other content creators are answering that question. And we got everybody, like 10 content creators that made one show. I think that's a great idea to collab together, have a community, but definitely have somebody you can call. Make a content calendar for the year, so you're not trying to do 52 weeks.
No.
Am I missing any? So you got community, you got a content calendar. I didn't write these things down. What is it? Don't allow watch time to really get you down.
No.
Try to learn from it. Make the next video.
Make the next video.
You got to have a goal. You got to have a goal too. That's another thing that helps. I have a goal, and you got to do baby steps. So maybe you get on, you just started, your first goal is 100. Okay, I'm going to get 100 subscribers. And then my next goal is to make a video that gets 1,000 views. And then maybe your next goal is I'm going to get to 500 subscribers. And then you go 1,000, and then, 10,000. And for me, that's my ultimate goal, is to get 10,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
I don't want a community bigger than that, because I want 10,000 people who want to interact together and lift each other up, and we all grow together. And that's, for me, the ultimate goal. So I don't want.
Let me tell you something about that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that. by the time you hit 10,000, it's going to be rolling so much you're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
You're
That
going to wake
momentum.
up one day and
I'll figure out
you
some
go
way to
from
mess that up.
10
Don't
to
worry.
12. I'm telling you, like really, there's a threshold somewhere around about 2,000 or 2,500 to where it starts to roll for you.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 is easy. And you get to, I mean, I'm
Yes.
just saying, like, there is a growth pattern that I've seen because, number one, now the algorithm knows what to send you as far as recommended videos.
Yeah.
Like, you have enough
Yeah.
content, you got enough things in there to where YouTube knows where to send to recommend your video to. And it just starts to snowball. Now, I will say this subscribers are not all it.
No.
But it is a great tool to understand that you're going the right direction.
Yeah.
Brother, I
Well,
wish you all the best, Roy. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited about your
Absolutely, man.
journey. I'm
Yeah.
excited about your willingness to help other content creators and talk about ups and downs.
Yeah.
And people have really been on their seat today involved in this conversation. We're not talking about microphones. We're not talking about
right.
cameras. We're talking about mindsets because that journey is also important to all of us. So thank you for, coming on and being a part.
Well, thank you so
Awesome.
much for having me on. The main point there is that sometimes that goal is that thing that keeps you moving. It
It's
may
true.
be
Mm.
a ridiculous goal, but it keeps you making content and keeps you motivated so that you want to do your best. So whatever that goal may be, it could be you just want to make a video that gets this many views. It's all about, did I help people along the way? And really that's the most important one.
I love it.
So
Awesome.
I love it. Helping other people. So
thanks.
Kirk, let's do this really quick. I got to
Yeah.
say this because it is oh so true. Man, Kirk, you may not have the grass scissors. I got them.
Oh, I definitely have the grass
I got
scissors.
them.
That's why
I
I'm
got 'em.
laughing, because Kerwin clearly knows me. You've been watching me. You've set up some webcams, haven't you, Kerwin?
Yeah.
No. If you don't have the grass scissors, are you really serious
Are
about the
you
grass?
really
I
serious
just
about it?
You gotta have
Are you
grass
really
scissors.
serious about it?
Yeah.
no.
And man, we
Every
got somebody
Father's Day,
hanging
these
out
are the
with
gifts I
us
get.
from Thailand. Hey man,
That's so
thanks for
dope.
coming through. We pray that you learned something from us today. I'm so honored when an Ecamm family member drops by one of my live streams, even though my content might not be their thing, dropping by just to say hi is so nice. And that is
Love that,
also
Tatiana.
true.
Oh, my
Community
bad, Greg.
goes a long way. And that being said, having community is great. The Ecamm fam community, if you're not a part of it, go to Facebook, drop in there. We're really pushing people to the Discord channel. Discord could be a huge thing for you, but I promise you, there are ways for you to learn steps at a time of how to be a part of that community. So please go
Mhm.
on to the Facebook page and there have those extra links to be able to get the Discord and all of that. Kirk, any final words from you?
No, man. Even as we get ready to wrap, you guys know what Tech Troublemakers channel is all about. You heard what we had to share about this particular show and the ups and downs of content creation and what does that look like? How do we get over those hurdles? If you didn't walk away with anything else, give yourself grace. Be kind to
Yes.
yourself. Modify your self-talk. If you wouldn't talk, if if the thoughts you were thinking of yourself, you would reprimand your child for saying to someone else, you probably need to reprimand yourself.
Come on,
I
that's good.
There's something to be said for uh, being human and allowing space to be human. All right, we're not a robot. People don't come to content online for Hollywood. They come to content online for what's real, for
That's
what's
right.
authentic. And that's the reason why content online is watched more. That's the reason why so yeah, give yourself grace, be kind to yourself, modify your self-talk, and do what's necessary just to do that next video. Just the next video. Because that is gonna get you across the line. That's what's gonna get you successful. That's all I got.
I love it. Roy, Tech Troublemaker, how can people connect with you?
Let's see, I'm on all the socials. But definitely my favorite place is YouTube is my favorite, but you can reach me on Instagram. I'm Tech Troublemaker there as well. I'm also on Twitter, but I'm Tech Trouble MKR because Elon wouldn't let me buy the vowels to go in my name. So my username is Tech Trouble MKR. So those are my favorite places to find me. But Instagram, YouTube, definitely drop by, say hi, and reach out to me on Facebook as well. I'm also out there as Tech Troublemaker. So yeah, there's 10,000 other social media places I'm out there too, but those are my favorite.
I love it. And
just
we're
thank you to
connected on
everybody.
Instagram. That's how we talk. So I think that's cool. That's
So,
awesome, man.
Instagram's my second favorite. YouTube is the best.
The best. I agree.
Platform.
Let me say this. Thank you, Tech Troublemaker. Thank you, Kirk, for making a great show. If you guys are watching this and you've got this far, you gotta feel the love that we have for you as content creators. The stream show comes on every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's my pleasure to be able to bring it to you. We're gonna have some great shows coming up. I was in awe at the sound of one of our shows and decided to talk about how to have great sound on your streaming show. It can be difficult, even for some of the best of us, and I want to teach you how to do it the right way, showing you some of the not so expensive ways to do it, and how we all can get caught up in the big, shiny new thing in sound when you may or may not need it. So come through as we talk about sound. We're going to be talking about strategies for the year too. So there's a bunch of stuff coming your way, so don't miss it right here on the Stream Show. Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of the Stream Show.